by Tyler Reddick, driver of the number 19 Draw Tight Ford. Tyler, you're second in the standings right now, 14 points behind Matt Crafton. Tell us about your ability and the team's ability to adapt and run up front every week as you're visiting tracks for the first and second time in your career.
Yeah, I feel like our number 19 team does a very good job at almost all these racetracks, if not all. Every once in a while you're going to hit a bump in the road. It's just part of racing, but for the most part we do a pretty good job of adapting and picking up speed at places where we might have been lacking. A perfect example of it was Dover this year. We weren't that good in practice at all, and we leaned on our teammate in the 29 to help us turn it around for the next day, and we ended up winning that race. So we have a good team. It's really nice to have a teammate to lean on for help and advice, and gives us an opportunity to go try two different things and see what's better. And so hopefully we have a good truck here for this weekend's race. In the past, Doug's always had a really good, strong contention here, and Clyde's been really good to us. It's a truck we won at Dover with. It's a truck I ran here last year. Every time we ran Clyde, it's been a good truck for us, so it should be fast again for us here this weekend. So I'm really looking forward to getting back in the truck and getting it another win this year.
We'll go ahead and open it up to questions. We'll start here with Jerry Jordan and then back to Stu.
Tyler, Jerry Jordan, Kicking the Tires. Next week, a big week going to Michigan with PKR at home track. What are your thoughts? Never running there? Nerves? Expectations coming out?
I'm not too concerned about Michigan. I know last year for Ryan and Joey, they were both very good. They were up front and they were around each other a lot, so they were able to help each other. One of the big things about Michigan for the trucks is it's a lot about the draft, being able to drive in the draft, being able to navigate through dirty air. So for the most part, I think it's pretty wide open in Michigan for us. So it's just having the best truck possible. And, I feel like the guys back at the body shop and are doing a really good job of getting the bodies hang on the trucks this year. We went to a different person this year. Brad Mead's done a great job. And I think, with this newer, less better body style we got, it's going to help us going into Michigan. We'll have a little bit more speed. But I'm sure Doug and Robert and Mike and all the guys will have the truck up to par for us when it comes race time.
We'll go to Stu.
Hey, Stu Hodem, NASCAR.com. Matt Crafton's kind of the king of the mile and a halves, and 4 of the last 8 races are on mile and a halves. Do you feel like in this current stretch now is your best chance to catch him before you reach the end of the season where you figure that Matt might dominate? 14 points back now. Do you kind of put pressure on yourself to make up that gap before the end of the season?
No, we're really good on the mile and a halves as well. Kansas this year was our first new track with a new truck. Unfortunately, I just wrecked it in qualifying. It was a really fast truck, the fastest I've had in a mile and a half. And we still had a shot in our backup truck, which was really cool too. But Texas, again, we had a really fast truck. Again, it was one of our newer trucks, and I just lost the race for us. So I think we're really good on mile and a half. So that's where I felt like my strength was coming into this. And I still feel like that's where I'm at my best is mile and a half racetracks compared to the shorter tracks. So the biggest thing for us is just is minimize mistakes and try not to have any. I feel like if we do that and we just run where we normally do, just in the top 5, that we should have a shot at being able to win at some of those mile and a half racetracks. We've had shots so far this year. I think we have the speed. We just we need to piece it together. We haven't had a weekend yet where on a mile and a half we haven't had something go wrong, whether it be me or have a pit stop go wrong or something like that. So I think we still got a chance we should be able to run good on a mile and a half, so I feel like that's where we're at our best, honestly.
Zach Catanzaretti, Webman's Racing. Using one word, how would you describe Pocono and why?
You can't, it's all about not making any mistakes. The straightaways are so long here that if you overshoot the corner a little bit, it'll cost you for a long time. So hitting your marks is the biggest thing.
We'll go to Dustin Long.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Tyler, obviously you have a really good resource potentially in Brad in being able to tap into his knowledge. I know he's got a million things going on at once, so it can be challenging. But how do you use him as a resource? How has he helped mentor? I think I more understand that he more waits for you to approach him as opposed to approaching you. Can you kind of talk about that, please?
Yeah, no, whenever I need anything, just about anything, whether it's from the racetrack or what the truck feels like here and there, how to understand it better, he's always there. He's just waiting for me to ask him, I guess. So he's always really good to have someone like that ready to give you advice if you need it. And it's helped me a lot at places like this, a lot of these other tracks I had to come to for the first time last year. There's a few more tracks this year I haven't been to yet for the first time, and he was a lot of help to me at Kentucky because we didn't get a single lap of practice or qualifying before we started the race, and it helped me a lot in getting my feet hitting the ground running. We were able to lead early in that race, so he's been able to help me a lot.
How did he help you at Kentucky? So you didn't have the track time, so how did it help you make feel responsibility so you could do what you needed?
One of the biggest things was just understanding the line of the racetrack at Kentucky. It's got the seam about the middle, from the first groove to the second groove, about where the line is, the dotted, the broken up line. So you can kind of work that to your advantage to help your truck turn if you're tight. There's a lot of bumps around that racetrack, and he kind of told me where all the bumps are and how to miss them, and what's the best way to approach each corner, how much arc, what corners like arc and what don't. So it gave me a lot of information going into that race that I didn't really have, that I wouldn't have had if I just went in blind, and definitely helped me a lot in the race, getting up to speed fast.
Scott Walsh from the Scranton Times. Tyler, can you just talk a little bit about being involved in the championship battle? Kind of what your mindset is. Are you feeling any kind of pressure? And did I misunderstand you? You say your truck's name is Clyde?
For the one I ran at Dover and the one we're running here, yeah.
And just talk a little about how you came up with how's the truck named that?
Oh, well, a lot of trucks, I guess, have numbers, whatever. But the way we do it at Bragg-Selowski Racing, each truck's got a name, and this one was Clyde, and it's been a good truck for Doug, and Ryan Blaney, and when he's ran it, and it's been a good truck for me too. So, yeah, some teams go with numbers, some go with names. I think names mean a little bit more than a number. So, it's pretty fun to be able to pick names for the new trucks, and some of the trucks have some sentimental attachment to them. One of our newer trucks named Boomer. He was a guy that worked for Bragg-Selowski Racing for many years before he moved back with his wife to Wisconsin. So, yeah, I think it's cool to have your vehicles named after things or certain people or whatever.
Can you just talk a little bit about being in the championship battle?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. No, I don't think it's any pressure at all. The mindset I have today is the same mindset I had going into Daytona, and that's just focused on the next race ahead, which is Pocono for us here, and just trying to run the best of our ability. We just want to run top 5 every weekend, the next given race. If we can stay in the top 5 all day, we have a shot at winning, because more than likely 2 or 3 of the people in the top 5 will have a mistake or something will go wrong. So if we're in the top 5, we're in contention to win, and that's all we can ask for.
Any additional questions for Tyler? All right, thanks for joining us, Tyler, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you, guys.